The Man in the Attic. It started with a light, a soft glow in her bedroom window when she returned from her evening walk. She blinked at it. No one was supposed to be home. But there it was, calm, steady, like a lighthouse beam cutting through the dusk. Her name was Elise, a woman who lived alone in a quiet house with wood-paneled walls and the scent of lavender always lingering from her diffuser. After her divorce, she found solace in solitude. Books, tea, warm baths, routine. But routine began to unravel. She found spoons on the counter she never used. Her fridge made sounds at midnight. A drawer she swore she'd closed was cracked open each morning. Still, she convinced herself she was just tired. Until that smell. One evening, as she climbed the stairs, she caught a whiff of something damp, unclean, like earth trapped in cloth. Her friend Mark came over with a flashlight and a quiet seriousness. Together, they stood beneath the attic hatch, hearts echoing in tandem. The ladder creaked as he climbed. Silence. Then, "Elise," he whispered. Inside, he found a nest, old blankets curled into a makeshift bed, food wrappers in a pile like autumn leaves, and a journal resting beside a flashlight that was still warm. The last entry was, "Tonight, I show myself." The man was never found, but Elise changed the locks, installed cameras, and never walked past her attic without a glance upward, just in case. The Mirror Man. It was late autumn when Claire moved into her new apartment, a cozy studio tucked above an antique shop in a quiet part of town. The place had charm. Creaky floors, stained glass windows, and a large ornate mirror mounted to the wall opposite her bed. The landlord said it was original to the building, over 100 years old. The first few nights were peaceful, but then things shifted. She began waking up at 3:17 a.m. every night. No sounds, no dreams, just a sudden jolt awake. And always, her eyes would land on the mirror. One night, she noticed something strange. Her reflection wasn't quite right. It was delayed, just slightly. A blink that came half a second too late. A tilt of the head that didn't match. She chalked it up to exhaustion. Until the night she saw him. She woke again at 3:17 a.m., but this time her reflection wasn't alone. Behind her, in the mirror, stood a man. Tall, pale, wearing a dark coat. His face was obscured, but his hand was raised, pressed against the glass. She spun around. No one. But in the mirror, he remained, watching. She screamed and fled the apartment, calling the police. They found no one inside. But when they inspected the mirror, they discovered something chilling. It wasn't mounted to the wall. It was a door. Behind it, a narrow crawl space. Inside, a mattress, food wrappers, a coat, and a journal. The last entry read, "She sees me now. I'll step through tonight." The man in the crawl space. It was the summer of 2004 when Tyler moved into his first solo apartment, a modest one-bedroom in a quiet neighborhood just outside Portland. The building was old, with ivy crawling up the brick and a faint smell of mildew in the hallways. But it was cheap, and Tyler was excited to finally have a place of his own. The first few weeks were uneventful. He worked late shifts, came home around midnight, and spent his evenings watching old horror movies and eating microwave dinners. But then strange things started happening. It began with noises, soft thumps, scratches, always at night, always beneath the floorboards. Tyler assumed it was rats, maybe raccoons. The landlord dismissed it, saying the building was just settling. But then his food started disappearing. Not all of it, just little things. A granola bar here, a slice of bread, a can of soda. He thought he was just forgetful, until one night he found the fridge open. He was sure he'd closed it. Then came the smell, a sour, earthy stench that clung to the air like rot. It was strongest near the hallway closet, which had a small door leading to the crawl space. He'd never opened it, never needed to. But now he had to. He grabbed a flashlight and knelt down, heart pounding. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow tunnel of dirt and pipes. He shined the light inside and saw eyes. Two pale, wide eyes staring back at him. Tyler screamed and slammed the door shut, bolting it with a chair. He called the police, hands shaking. When they arrived, they entered the crawl space and found a man. Naked, filthy, covered in scratches. He'd been living there for weeks, slipping out at night through the closet, eating Tyler's food, and watching him sleep. They found a notebook. Inside were pages of detailed notes. He watches horror movies. He likes soda. He sleeps at 2:14 a.m. I want to be him. The man had entered through a broken basement hatch and had been living in the walls. Tyler moved out the next day.
He found me through my Wi-Fi. It started with a username, nothing threatening, just a message request from someone named QuietWatcher_89 on a niche forum for digital artists. Mia was used to random messages. She posted her work online, shared tutorials, and occasionally live-streamed her sketching process. She was friendly, open, maybe too open. The first message was flattering. "I love your line work. You draw like you're remembering something painful." She replied with a polite thank you. Then came the second message. "I know you're in the city. I saw the skyline in your window reflection." She froze. She had posted a photo of her desk setup, her monitor, her sketch pad, a mug of tea. In the corner of the screen, barely visible, a sliver of her window. And yes, the skyline. She didn't respond, but the messages kept coming. I saw your cat jump onto the desk. Cute. What's her name? I noticed your router name in the live stream. You should change it. It's too easy to find. She blocked him, changed her username, switched platforms, but he followed. Every time she went live, he was there, not in the chat, just watching. She could see the viewer count tick up. 1, then 2, then 1 again, always hovering. Then one night, her internet cut out. She checked the router. The name had changed. Quiet Watcher is here. She unplugged everything, called her ISP. They confirmed a remote login had occurred. Someone had accessed her router settings using the default password. She moved. New apartment, new modem, new username. She stopped posting photos, stopped live streaming, went dark. For a while it worked, until she got a letter. Handwritten, no stamp, just slipped under her door. You moved. I like the new curtains. Blue suits you. She called the police. They took a report. Said it was probably someone she knew. But she didn't know anyone in this city. She had just arrived. She installed cameras. One night, she woke to a notification. Motion detected. 3:14 a.m. She checked the footage. A man stood outside her window, not moving, just watching. He wore a hoodie, his face obscured, but in his hand was a phone, and on the screen, her live stream from months ago paused on a frame of her smiling. She moved again, this time across the country. She changed her name online, deleted everything, went private. But the silence didn't last. One morning, she opened her laptop. Her wallpaper had changed. It was a photo of her sleeping, taken from outside the window. She smashed the laptop, bought a new one, didn't connect it to Wi-Fi, didn't post, didn't stream. But sometimes when she walks past her window at night, she sees a reflection that doesn't match. A man standing behind her, smiling. The man who knew my schedule. Jenna was a creature of habit. She worked from home, freelanced as a copywriter, and kept a tight schedule. Morning coffee at 7:30, emails by 8, lunch at 12, evening walks at 6. She posted occasionally on Twitter, mostly harmless thoughts, memes, and updates about her cat Oliver. Then one day she got a reply. Oliver's fur looks softer today. Did you brush him longer? She hadn't posted a photo, just a tweet. Oliver's being extra cuddly today. Love this floof. She brushed it off as a weird guess, but the replies kept coming. You're wearing the blue hoodie again. It suits you. You always take the same route on your walk. Mix it up. You should lock your door when you shower. Jenna stopped tweeting. She changed her username. went private, but the messages didn't stop. They came through email now. No sender name, just a string of numbers. The subject line, "I miss your voice." She hadn't posted a video in months. She checked her YouTube channel. Nothing new, no comments. Then she remembered her old podcast. She had recorded it years ago, just her talking about books and life, casual, intimate. She had forgotten it existed, but he hadn't. The next email came with an audio file. It was her voice, but distorted, slowed down, looped. She called the police. They said it was creepy, but not illegal. She moved. New apartment, new devices, new accounts. She stopped posting altogether. But one night, she got a package. No return address. Inside was a USB stick. She plugged it in. There were folders, each named after a day. Inside, screenshots, her calendar, her emails, her grocery receipts, photos of her walking, her cat sleeping, her hand reaching for the kettle, all taken from outside her window. She checked the timestamps. They matched her schedule perfectly. She installed blackout curtains, changed her locks, bought a dog. But the dog barked every night at 3:17 a.m., always toward the window. She set up a camera. The footage showed a man standing still, not moving, just watching every night. Same time, same place. She moved again, this time to a rural town. No neighbors, no internet. She lived offline. But one morning, she found a note nailed to her door. "You're harder to find now, but I like the challenge."
Why aren't you online? Based on a true story from a university dorm. It started with a message, just 4 words. Why aren't you online? Emily was a first-year university student. She lived in a secure dorm. Keycard access, separate floors, cameras in the lobby. She felt safe. She had a small online presence, a private Instagram, a Discord server with close friends, and a Twitch account she used to stream cozy games once a week. The message came through Discord from someone named Night Battles. She didn't recognize the username. She ignored it. But the next day, another message arrived. "You always stream on Thursdays. Did something happen?" She felt a chill. Her Twitch schedule wasn't public. She only streamed for friends. She checked her server. No one named Night Battles. She asked her friends. No one knew him. She blocked the account. But the messages kept coming. New usernames, same tone. "You wore the yellow hoodie today. It's your comfort color." "You didn't eat lunch. You should take care of yourself." She started to panic. She checked her social media.
No recent photos, no location tags. She hadn't posted anything in days. She stopped going to class, stopped leaving her room. But the messages kept coming. You're staying in today. I understand. She reported it to campus security. They took notes, promised to investigate, but they didn't find anything. Then one night she heard a knock. Soft, deliberate. She looked through the peephole. No one. She opened the door. On the floor was a note. I miss your voice. She hadn't streamed in 2 weeks. She called the police. They searched the building, found nothing. She moved to a different dorm, different floor, different keycard. She changed her usernames, went offline. But one night she got a text. No contact name, just a number. Why aren't you online? She screamed, called the police again. This time they took her phone, traced the number. It belonged to a student, same university, same building, different floor. He had hacked the dorm system, cloned her keycard, installed a hidden camera in her room behind the air vent. He had been watching her for weeks, tracking her schedule, her moods, her meals, her voice. He was arrested, charged with stalking, unlawful surveillance, and harassment. Emily moved off campus, started therapy. She deleted all her accounts, changed her name online. But sometimes, when she's alone, she still hears the knock. Soft, deliberate. And she wonders, what if he wasn't the only one watching?
That's all for this story. I hope this helped calm your racing mind and put you in a sleepy mood. Sweet dreams. See you next time.